Yeah, learn these
Man,
skills though.
bro,
Oh,
what both of y'all just
oh my
like,
gosh.
oh, exactly, Jalen. I'm just like, whoa,
Bruh.
because you guys just giving so much spiritual insight into the original plan of God. Because so
Yes.
many of us men have been running away from that. Like we're seeking the same thing, but we're seeking it out in the world. But God's like, no, I meant for it to be in the home. Like
Yes.
that love and that you wake up, I feel the same way when my daughter is crawling all over my face at 5:30 a.m. and she's kissing on me, and I look over, my wife's laughing at me, she's rolling over to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Like there's just so much pleasure I get out of that. There's nothing like it. And both guys, you just like really blessing my heart right now because that's exactly how it's supposed to be. And Quentez, the humility that you're showing is like, man, I don't know everything, but I'm learning how to be that. And specifically, when you guys are talking about learning how to be gentle,
Yeah.
that is so important, and that's something that God's been just working on me about, because Ephesians 4 says to always be humble and gentle.
Yeah.
That's good.
And it's like, man, that's a part of our walk with Jesus that a lot of people don't concentrate on. It is like Jesus said, always be gentle. Like, that's what the word says. Don't say sometimes when you feel like it says always be gentle.
Right.
So that's amazing that you guys are learning about that. And a question I have, I'm sorry, Jalen, I'm burning with questions.
No, you good. No, you good. I'm soaking this, bro. This is good.
I know it is, man. It is. So I want to know now, how have your experiences, you grew up with just a challenging experience with your fathers. You guys went through some moments of reconciliation with your dads. Now you're husbands and fathers. My question for you guys is, how does knowing God as your father, that kind of relationship, how has that impacted the way you live your life?
Yeah, it totally changed the way I live my life. Like, with coming to the church, man, I say, it gives you an example, how to be there for the kids, how to raise your kids, how to raise kingdom kids. And, so it's just like, it really changed a lot about me, because I said, with me growing up, man, like, even like for my kids, like, growing up, I thought, you're supposed to talk to a bunch of girls, and, like, that was a cool thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But then I found, I ain't cool, man. Like, like cool is, getting one girl and settling down with, get married and stuff like that. So it had really changed my whole mindset. It changed my mindset from a boy to a man. So I just constantly try to be there for my kids and, just raise them in the right way and show them, and show them a good example, not showing the example with the world shows. You know what I'm saying? So I have to go out there and let them know, okay, well, you're going to do this, because I know my kids going to make mistakes. Especially my oldest son, Jeremiah, he getting older. So every time he, like, I have to let him know now, like, you're going to middle school, it's going to be a lot of challenges out there and stuff like that. But, like, remember everything I taught you. Remember, like, the way I raised you. Remember the Bible verses that we went through, So, just go out there, have fun. But, just be careful, man, and, and live right, man. Treat people right and stuff like that. So it really had just gave me an example. Like, the Bible gives me an example every day. How to raise them.
Wow.
Yeah, I just have to say, sorry to cut in, but the pure joy that you express when you talk about being a father is so refreshing. And when you say, you talk about to your son about how the different operations I went through, I immediately picture that Proverbs father. You said, son, hearken your voice to me. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to guide you. And I just had to inject that's so refreshing, because every time you bring them up, just to see that, and let's be real, seeing Black fathers having a healthy perspective, what I mean, this podcast showing this healthy perspective, man, is so powerful, because people need to see this. People need to see this, man. They need to see the joy that a father has toward a son. Yeah. I think that's so healthy, man. It's amazing. Quentarious, I know you were finna jump on as well, but I just had to say that to you, man. That's refreshing.
Oh yeah. That governs pretty much everything about my life. it's God first, and then everything trickles down. So the way my households ran, my marriages ran, how the type of father I am, it all stems from the relationship that I have with God. Um, and if that's like everything, like because the type of father he is to me is the type of father that I strive to be and show towards my daughter. Like I know his love is like this big for her, so mine can probably only go by so much big. But I even remind her, like when I talk to her, I always say, Connie, God loves you so much more even than Daddy loves you, and if he loves you this much, I love you this much. Like I'm like Daddy loves you, but he that's your first dad. And so I try to teach her that, you know, I'm her dad, but it's a guy that's out there who is like, he thought about you so much that he put you in his family. He trusted us with you. He loves us so much to do what he does for us, to give us what we have. And I think like a few months ago or something, I was joking with Kalani, and I said, you thank God because you got some nice parents. You got a nice little room in there. Matter of fact, you got 2 rooms. And so and then she kind of laughed and chuckled and ran off. And I was just like, man, I see that relationship to where God looks at us and he's like, man, I love y'all so much. Go enjoy your rooms. And when I like go enjoy your home, go enjoy your family, go enjoy these things. And that's what he wants for us. He wants the best for us. And like the relationship with God, that's the foundation for me. Like anything outside of that, I feel like it is worthless.
Come on.
Yeah, just like with Quinn, man, like I'm gonna learn a lot from him. You know, like I remember when I had first met Quinn, he taught me a lot, man. I ain't gonna lie, like the deal was like, well, him and my wife was the one that got me into the church. You know, I was always a good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was good.
But I already know I need that foundation. You know, like that I was saying, like growing up, like I believe in Jesus and stuff like that. But I ain't never had that foundation. You know, I wasn't. You know, I didn't know him.
Come
You know
on.
what I'm saying? I ain't had a relationship with him.
That's good.
Yeah.
So like I remember like talking to Quinn, and after that, you know, I was like, man, yeah, this is the foundation that that I really supposed to build my family off of. And I be seeing it even at night, man, when my son just go to praying, my 3-year-old just go to praying, about pray for us in the closet. We got a prayer closet, and we all pray. And when he pray for his attitude and all that type of stuff, it really showed me that I'm raising him in the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because it was crazy. I mean, when it's a funny story, but I mean, when I think me and Quinn, we've been doing each other because we went to school together. But when we really started hanging out, I remember Quinn was over there and we was talking about tithes, about tithing in the church. And I was telling Quinn, I was like, man, I was like, yeah, man, Sade tired all the time, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't really tired like that. And other day, I was like, Quinn was like, no, you the man, like you supposed to. He would punch me in the chest like that. No, you supposed to. And I told him, I said, man, but Sade do it, no, you supposed to do it. You the man, you supposed to lead it, you know what I'm saying? So I really jumping there. So I was like, yeah, I am the head, so I do supposed to lead, you know what I'm saying? Cause even my wife be, me sometimes, sometimes you'll lay on the couch and my wife ask me something, I'll be like, yeah, whatever you want to do. And she'll look at me like, no, it's what you want to do. Like, you lead up the family, so now I can't use that excuse when I be laying back and just I don't want to talk. I just be like, go ahead. So she make me come up with, so now I got to pay attention to what she's saying now. Yeah, so she hold me accountable here, man.
Yeah.
We'll be
That's so good.
That is good, man.
Real quick, and I know Quentarious, what I was saying, man, was what's the situation where you can say like you had to really being a father, being a husband, had to step in and show, leadership, because I believe God pushes us to be leaders as men. Right. So what's the situation you can speak to with that in your own life?
So I think just pretty much in making decisions. So I know just recently, like I said, last night, like it was a situation where my wife wanted me to step in and make a decision. And so what happened was she was talking to her mom, and it was a decision concerning our daughter. And although my wife and we are on the same page about this, and I felt like I told her, I was like, you can go ahead and answer that. You don't need me for that. But I felt like as from her, she wanted me to step in and like be a leader, even though it was like a simple yes. But she wanted me to step in and say, hey, lead this for me because I trust you. And I feel like if it comes from you as the leader, as the head, the point will be driven. And if you think about that, a lot of that has to do with the way God designed family. It's not to say that as a man, oh, you're a dictator and this you do. When I tell you, woman, cook me eggs. It's not that. It's more of a
It better
purpose.
have cheese in it too.
It's more of it's just like order. It's order. Like we are equal to each other, but in order, I am leading the charge. So and that shows in our society too. I know that it's kind of not about fathers or marriage, but our society lacks the order of just true godly men stepping in, leading the way. And just for my wife, that simple yes, that seemed to be very minute for me. To her, it meant everything in a leadership way, because she felt like, hey, my man stepping to the plate. He leading the family. He leading in action and voice. And so I think that's kind of how that works.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cause just like I say, man, everybody, I be saying like everybody wants to be a leader till it really comes to time with somebody pushing their position. Because like, man, being like a CEO of a company is way different than I'm talking about. That's easier than being a husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talking about making decisions over $100,000 deals or $1 million deals is nothing compared to making decisions in the household, man. It's like crazy. Like, it's totally different, man. It's like even with being a leader, man. Like my pastor always say, Pastor Johnson, he always say, what is quotes? He say if you want to be a leader, like in the community, you gotta be a leader in the house first. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you can't lead nobody else until you lead your household first. Yeah. So that really showed me. Like you be thinking like, see, everybody be, oh man, you know how a man come in, I'm the man of this and all that. But when somebody puts in their position, like your wife puts in their position to make a choice, man, that thing get hard, man. Cause now you think in your head, I don't want to make her mad. I want to make her mad. I know you know what I mean? I know sometimes ain't gonna be like, very you gotta make tough decisions, man. Gonna be like decisions that you be like, but decisions that you might have to, your wife might be looking at you crazy that night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
That's
like,
so true, man.
It's powerful, man. It's a lot of responsibility being a husband, man, a father, man. It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, because you're responsible for people's lives.
Yeah.
And that is the utmost importance, and it's sacred because you're dealing with God's children. And I remember my wife and I went through a situation last year where we needed to find a new home and we didn't have one yet. And my wife heavily relied on me for direction, and I didn't have answers. And I had to lean on God so hard during that season because I didn't know what to do. And God miraculously provided a way for us to get a home, a very safe home in a place that we wanted actually. But there was about 10 days there where we were just in limbo. And my wife needed me to be strong. She needed me to be consistent. She needed me to serve. And it was defining. It was a refining moment as well, because it was like, wow, like I can lead. I can lead. So that was like encouraging. But we're getting close to wrapping up our conversation. But before we do, I want to talk a little bit about brotherhood. Because I always say that when you know that you're a son, you can be a good brother.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so, Quentez, you talked about Terry being a brother to you and encouraging you. So just real quick here, man, let's talk a bit about why brotherhood is important when it comes to being leaders and fathers too.
Yeah, man, like brotherhood is very important, man, because sometimes, sometimes you need somebody to reach out and talk to. You don't want all that stress on, by yourself. I think that what God put other people here with you too also.
Yeah.
Like other people you can lean on and get, get advice from. And, because I was saying, like your brother can be an example for you too. Growing up, like I said, even with the church and all that, like my pastor and Quinn, like they're example, you know what I'm saying? So, there's like there's it's crazy, man. It'd be like some nights I just be laying down and just thinking, I just hit Quinn up and ask him, hey man, how you feel about this? How you feel about that? So but imagine if I didn't have that, you know what I'm saying? Then I just be laying there, I'll pray, but then God tell me, well, I put somebody here for you to talk to too. That's why I put these good people in your life. They even with in the church, like though even when you got people who you want to reach out in the church, the deacons and the elders and stuff like that, for you can get advice from and make you a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so that's why I think brotherhood is so powerful. Because man, like, it gets you through life.
It does.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I know I've been incredibly blessed by, all these relationships, everyone on this call, whether, by far or close relationships, been hugely blessed by brotherhood.
Yes.
And just also, you guys run a business together, right? Are you guys business partners?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, man. Tell the folks a little bit about that.
Hey,
Hey, look at him.
Hey.
Look at
Lead
him,
out,
man. Promoting his business on
Yes,
trying to be all
You
slick.
got to shut on.
let
Go
them
ahead,
know.
man. So you
Let
got to
them
shut on.
know.
You got to
Let them
lead.
know.
Man, yeah, man. Let the listeners know what you do, man.
Go ahead, Quentarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. We run a vending company called Lead Vending. We started in 2017 with me, Quinn, Tevin, and one of our high school friends, Alexis and Jimmy. Well, Jimmy went to another school, but yeah, we all started this together. To just try to create a legacy for our family. Financial legacy to leave behind, and just to say what now. Oh yeah, leave. I'm talking shit. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's my coaching background. My coach.
I was about to say that's your coach back there.
Hey, listen, look.
Run the play.
Oh yeah, and then after that, the meaning of our name is like brotherhood too. Like
Right.
it's lead. Like we came up with that. And I mean, cause first time we tried to go with Brothers United or something. He was taking, and after that, I think Quinn had brought it up. He was like, man, how about lead? And we thought about it. He was like, man, yeah, basketball. Everybody like in a team. You know what I'm saying? Cause like we see a lot of people who try to do everything themselves, man. You really can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the same time, it was great to bring it together, bring our money together and, be able to create something. Because like I tell Quinn all the time, I was like, man, it's no in the world I can create a business by myself. I don't make enough money. You know what I'm saying? So we got to put money together to bring power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what we did.
Wow.
Yeah, and like you said, our names league is all about us doing this together. That's what it's solely based on, the foundation, because we know that we can do more together than we can apart. And a lot of people want to do it because they want the profit, and you'll get the profit. That stuff will come. But when you build a relationship, like I built deeper relationships with some of my other partners just through this. We knew each other in high school, but just doing this, becoming business partners, even though there's a difference between business and, friendship and stuff like that, but it helps you to develop those relationships. And it's been a blessing to be a part of this business with Quentez. And I tell him all the time, like he always talk about how I inspire him, and I taught him how to tithe and all this stuff and all that stuff. And I tell him, like, bro, you had just as much of an impact in my life when it comes to me being a man of like how I handle business, because there was a point in my life I always say I want to be a business owner. I want to do this, but I did not know what I wanted to do. And it's his leadership that instills this confidence in me to do this. And that I learned so much about the business, about how it operates, the finances, what we need. Like I've learned so much from him. And he, like I said, we having this brotherhood, just being on here with y'all, like y'all know the days we had back in the coffee shop, man. I learned so much from Craig during that time, like, and I've expressed it to him offline before that, he inspired me to speak up more, because I always knew I was a leader, but just to see him operate and how he led that helped me with my leadership. And then Jalen, of course, you know, man, we've been boys since I tried to take your position in 8th grade, which I failed.
Dang.
I forgot we did play. We all played basketball together in 8th grade.
Yeah, Apple.
Like I remember
which I tremendously failed at. So since I failed at taking this position, we just became best friends. So I mean, it all worked out. So I'm definitely grateful for the relationships, and you see how when you link up with different brothers, how much you can impact each other's lives to help us all grow to be better. So God knows what He's doing when He introduces people into your life. It's not by some chance. So it's our purpose.
Wow, man. Well, this is awesome. So we're going to close it out this way, unless Jalen, you got something you want to add in.
I had one more question that I wanted to ask the three of y'all, and this is specifically just from me. I want y'all perspective on this because I'm not a father as of now, but I wanted to get y'all perspective on that. Terry, Quentarious, y'all are both fathers to girls. Quentez, you're a father to 2 boys. I wanted to get y'all perspective on what's it like parenting a boy versus parenting a girl. This is just for me to learn as well, so I'm just asking. Whoever want to kick that off.
Okay. Well, I guess since I got the only boy, yeah. So parent a boy it's different, man. You know, you have to, you have to be a little tougher. You know what I'm saying? You know, the girls you can't be tough, but like the boy, you have to be tougher. You know, and you really there like example for them. Like everything you do, everything you say. You know, like cause like as a boy, they want to grow up and be just like you. You know, like so when you're around them, you got there's a lot of stuff that you have to watch, but also at the same time have fun. But always it's point to be in their life, teach them right from wrong, and teach them my life, the good things and the bad things. Because because a dude, like when a boy grow, he gonna face way more than a girl gonna face. Just because especially a young black man. So so that I'm telling it's just about, and and praying take a lot of prayer with a boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take a lot of prayer, you know what I'm saying? You sometimes like, why I just told him not to do that. You know what I'm saying? So now you gotta be tough on the kid, and my wife be like, oh, he's okay. And he be like, no, I got it. No, I'm gonna let him know. He did wrong.
Yeah.
That's it.
So good. Wow.
So for raising a young princess, she is very demanding. You realize, but I know I'm prepared because my wife can be that way sometimes, and so being married to the beautiful Valencia, the intelligent Valencia, has prepared me for Kalani. So I actually feel like I'm more like it's a challenge, of course, but I feel like I'm more prepared because I deal with the taller one, so the smaller one shouldn't be that big.
The taller one.
So Kalani is like, I realize she, as a girl, you have to, and I know a lot of our kids, they like to play and stuff like that, but like I said, for me, having a girl made me have to, I feel like, because I'm not as emotional. I wasn't this emotional person. So I don't show, I show emotion, but when it comes to feeling sometimes, I kind of be reserved. And that's something that the Lord has worked with me on. And I believe through my relationship with my daughter, He is working that. Because I have to be more vulnerable to do things like watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse all day. Watch Moana and Princess and the Frog and stuff like that. When really I'll be like, man, turn the game on. Like I just told Jalen this the other day. Like, Kalani, I want to watch the Jordan documentary. You want to watch Frozen 2? No, but then I've learned that, man, with a girl, like your heart is so soft. Like Quentez said, you gotta be a little tougher. When I try to be tougher with Kalani, I'd be like, just get over here and hug me. But it's like it's a difference. But they all require discipline. So I can tell you that they are going to require discipline. But I think with a girl, you have to be a little more strategic and kind, subtle. So that's what.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's so powerful, man. That's powerful.
Oh, yeah, man, that was whew.
Wow. All right. Just wanted to end it this way for people who are listening. Our discussion today was mostly on fatherhood and, the different movements of life that flow out of fatherhood, like brotherhood and being a husband and starting a business. Just real quick, we'd love to have your last thoughts. What kind of encouragement would you give someone who's listening to this podcast? So, Quentarious, love to hear you first.
Definitely value the people that God places in your life. You never know their impact until you start living life and situations come up in life. Like I kind of explained a little earlier, all of these guys on this call, on this podcast, have affected my life in some way to where I use something that you have taught me or told me or something that I've seen from you that helps me live my life and serve in a way that is beneficial and a blessing to others. So I definitely would say value the people in your life, value the relationships in your life. Everything has purpose.
Wow.
Yeah, I also say, really saying the same thing on Quentarious, saying, just value fatherhood, value brotherhood. Both of them are very important. So I'll, treat people right and, just continue to live life.
Yeah.
So good.
That's so good, man. Yeah.
I have enjoyed this.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for joining us today. We really, really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Having us on.
Thank you for having us on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Jalen?
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to y'all, man. Well, once again, thank you all for listening to the Duel podcast again. Once again, like, subscribe, share it. This is an awesome conversation. Thank y'all for y'all contribution to this topic. Gonna bless so many people, man, just to see this perspective, to see, once again, Quentez, like I gotta tell you, to see that joy, man, it was so refreshing, man. And Quentez, wisdom that you just dropped. Once again, man, we're going to close out. Thank you all for listening. We'll talk to you soon from the Duel podcast.
You're doing well.
Yeah.